What's up, y'all? It is day 26 of Home and Harmony, and yesterday was the 21st. It was the solstice, the shortest day of the year. And I just wanted to do like a little ceremony for the solstice. I felt really good for me to be supported in that way, and I feel like that'll be a nice way for you guys to feel supported in this time as well. If you don't know, the solstice is the day of the year where it is the most dark, or I guess depending on where you are in the world. But in the northern hemisphere, it is the darkest it is. And the darkness always brings a lot of lessons, right? So I want us to use the medicine of the solstice to look at what this darkness has been teaching us. You know, if you've been in the northern hemisphere for the last 3 months, the days have been getting progressively shorter and shorter, meaning the sun is setting sooner and sooner. There's been more dark, and I feel like the darkness just highlights things for us. So I really want us to jump into that medicine today and examine what we've learned from the darkness so far in these last 3 months. I'm going to start by lighting us a candle. I'm trying to think of the best way. I want you guys to see the candle, but I don't know if that's going to be feasible. Oh, God. I broke it. Okay. See, will I burn my finger this way? Probably. Let's get a new one. I think the dog tried to get into these because there's like a little slobber mark on my matches, which is always fun. Okay. Oh my God. Ah! So scary. Let's not burn my hair on fire. Here's our candle. I like the white because white is pure. So war white. But this white is going to signify for us just bringing light into the darkness. So I just want to start with like a quick little meditation. Should I move you guys over so you can see the candle? Would that be better? That's a little better. Thanks for bearing with me today. It is 6 o'clock in the morning, so we still getting set up. Okay, now you can see it. Barely, but it's there. Is anything gonna catch on fire? No, we're fine. Alright, so first thing, grab a sip of your water. I want to really hydrate the body for this kind of work. Okay, now we'll arrive at our bodies. So, feet on the floor. If you want to be in a receiving energy, hands up. If you are good, your head is already spinning, hands down. Closing the eyes. Allowing the shoulders to fall away from your ears. Noticing any tightness in the body, any discomfort. Maybe just putting a hand anywhere where you're feeling that tightness. Feeling the warmth from your hand on that area. And releasing, allowing yourself to drop into your body, being fully present in the moment, maybe noticing what smells you smell, feeling what it's like to sit in the chair, on the floor, on your bed. Maybe even rubbing your hands on your body. Just really feeling that sense of presence. Now I call in the ancestors. Thank you for being here. Please help guide me through this ceremony, giving myself and everyone watching now or later what they need, giving them the tools for expansion and receptivity. Okay. We're doing a solstice ceremony. Okay, so we have our water. Maybe grab a journal too at some point. And like I said, darkness is a teacher. So I want us to think about, the dark moments that we've had maybe in the last couple months, and maybe try to extract the lesson out of that. If you're like, I've really had a dark moment in the last few months, then maybe you look at what has changed for you habit-wise over the last 3 months as the seasons have changed. If you're in the northern hemisphere, seasons, the dark has been encroaching. Yes, the dark has been encroaching. If you're in the southern hemisphere, the light has been encroaching. And so look at let's grab the journal actually, and we're going to write down what have your habits looked like and how have they changed over the last couple months? Is there anything that you want to change? So for the person saying, I'm so confused. So a solstice ceremony, we're just doing a ritual right now to ground into the solstice energy. A lot of people do rituals and ceremonies around solstice, around equinoxes. It's just like a reset in the year. And for those who don't know, like in a lot of religions, Christmas is, there's holidays around this time of year that are like signifying, that are actually copying the solstice, right? The solstice is the, like I said, shortest day of the year. And there's a winter solstice, there's a summer solstice, so there's one that's the longest day of the year, there's one that's the shortest day of the year, and I lost my train of thought here. But it's basically just a time to reflect, and you can use this energy to move yourself forward and to really reflect and recalibrate and move forward with intention move forward with intention and clarity rather than just going about your day and not really being aware of these changes. So right now we're just harnessing the change of this time of the year and using it for our benefit. And if that sounds cool to you, then welcome and hope you stay. And if not, then later. All right, so right now we're going to think about what habits have been changing for us over the last couple months. So maybe with, it being dark earlier and maybe a little chillier, you're not playing outside as much, you're not going outside as much, maybe you've picked up your phone more and you've been on your phone. Maybe your screen time's gone up. Maybe you have been eating differently because, summer, there's different vegetables and different things are in season. Maybe you don't have a garden that you maybe had access to before, so your eating habits are changing. This isn't from a place of judgment either. It's not like, I I am eating more fast food, or I'm not cooking as much, and it just sucked. Like, it's not from that place. It's from a place of just observing. And like I said, extracting the medicine from these observations. It's not we're not trying to change from a place of judging ourselves. We're just trying to notice and go from there. What's the other thing? Oh, also, I think people like tend to pick up their vices more around this time too. So if that's something that you're doing, maybe looking at like, is that how I want to show up? Do I want to be, I don't want to say inebriated, but do I want to be like cloudy, or do I want to change that? For me personally, I picked up this anxiety journal the other day, and it was like, write down what your self-care looks like, and it was like Monday morning, afternoon, and evening, and I was like, 3 times a day. And like, I'm someone that teaches a lot about self-care and taking care of yourself and prioritizing yourself, and even that, I was like, wow, maybe I'm not, taking care of myself in the way that I really thought I was, like, because again, this is a chaotic season, right? That's the whole reason why I did Home and Harmony, and why I'm continuing to do it for these last 3 days is this season is so hectic and busy, and it really forces us to, I don't know, well, it doesn't really force us to slow down. It kind of forces us to not take care of ourselves, because we have so many things going on between work and getting houses ready and getting, all the presents and holiday parties and birthdays and all of those things. It doesn't leave a lot of space for ourselves, right? We have to be really intentional. And me, even someone who teaches about this, I realize like it's really hard for me too, especially with doing these 28 days of lives on top of work, on top of just posting my regular content, on top of being a mom and being a wife and being a human being. So for me personally, that's something I want to work on, is like maybe making more pockets in my day of that self-care, of yoga, or even just drinking my tea. And I'm usually rushing on the way to work, like drinking my matcha and trying to chug it in the car, but like maybe giving myself a little extra time in the morning, maybe going to sleep a little earlier so that I have that extra time and I could really move a little more intentionally. Yeah, so what is that for you? Like, what does that look like for you? And what is this area of growth that we can work towards that's not, again, we're not dogging ourselves. We're not saying, ugh, I just suck, and like, why am I even trying to do this? And I'm not even good at this, and blah, blah, blah. Like, that negative self-talk isn't going to help. So we want to be kind to ourselves. We want to be encouraging, and just notice these things of the ways where we might want to just change it up. Some just yelled for me. So you can write that down if you want. You obviously don't have to. I find like writing is really helpful. I think there have been studies on this too. Just the power of like writing versus, just typing or thinking about something. Like putting pen to paper is really powerful, and it actually helps you like see it and just get more clear. So for me, it's going to be more self-care, and I guess more self-care, more frequent self-care, we're going to say. Because I do self-care like at least every other day. But I usually count it as like, if I do yoga for 30 minutes, then like that's self-care. I did yoga last night for 20 minutes right before bed, but that was really the only time in the day that I took care of myself. So for me, I want to find these pockets, and maybe that's what I want to encourage you to do too. Obviously, if you already thought of something else, then go with that, but just in case you haven't, we can just share the same intention, right? Like making more pockets in your day to care for yourself, to just do something like that mothers and nurtures yourself. So it could be, like I said, drinking your water, drinking your matcha, your coffee, like slowly and not rushed. Not yeah, giving yourself more time at night, like to go to bed on time, to wake up on time, maybe waking up a little earlier so that you're giving yourself that extra time built in so that you can move a little slower in the morning. Maybe for like your lunch break, you are making sure to go outside even if it's cold and just walking for a couple minutes, or if you walk a lot in your job. I am rarely sitting down at my job, so for me, I like to sit down. I like to put my legs up the wall. Have I been doing that lately? No. So maybe drawing my attention to that and being like, hey, when you're on a lunch break or a 15-minute break, like put your legs up the wall, and that's going to feel good for you, especially if you're like me and you're on your feet all day. Like putting your legs up the wall midday, it's just such a good reset. And it's not just for like the sake of self-care, it's actually for your nervous system regulation to do those things. Getting your feet above your heart is a way to like calm down, what is it, the I want to say parasympathetic nervous system, but I could be switching those two up. But and then let's see, an evening practice that would be easy is like just to stretch before bed. It was so nice to stretch before bed last night, and I literally did it in the bed. What did I do? Like child's pose. I did some twists, so like laying down and you put your feet to one side, and then you're, laying this way if you're twisting that way, and then vice versa. Hey, buddy. Hi. Nico's downstairs if you want to be with him. I'm doing a live really quick. Okay. Or you can just sit right there. You can look at those pictures right there. That's you and me and Nico. Okay. So there's bedtime yoga. If you're like, I'm not doing yoga, you could read a book. You could do something creative, just like anything that, and I'm guilty of this too, where it's like you just want to be on your phone and scrolling at night. But again, we're looking at the practices that are going to make us feel good, and we're trying to have more frequent self-care. And so if we've taken care of ourselves, in the morning or the afternoon, then it's like, oh, well, I already did it twice, so like I don't need to do it again. But what if we made a habit of making that space for ourselves like continually throughout the day, and it wasn't just like, oh, I checked the box, I'm good, but we could really move with that intention throughout the entire day and stop seeing our phone as the reward. Obviously, we all scroll, it's a thing, but like I've said before, setting your time limits on social media, and maybe even just taking a break every other day, taking a break however often you need, but really prioritizing that self-care for ourselves. And that's a good way to bring some light into this darkness. That seasonal depression is about to hit for people in the northern hemisphere. This marks yesterday marks the longest day of the year, and it's gonna be those dark days again for another like 2 months. So as this light continues to come back, just like every day, the light is getting a little bit more and more. How are we adding more light into our lives more and more every single day? Just a little bit, like 1% more every single day. How can you do that for yourself, to show up for yourself? So yeah. What kind of plans do I have today? Am I married? Yes. My plans today, I'm getting my nails redone. So you guys will see 3 nails over the course of this series that I'm doing. And then I have to drop my kiddos off with my mom because they're out of school, and then I have work. And like I said, to me that it's like, oh my God, I have so much to do, and I'm gonna be like going from thing to thing to thing. But like I have my food ready to go. Like I know what I'm gonna eat. And then during my breaks at lunch, during my breaks at work, I'm gonna be really conscious of like, hey, you don't really need to scroll on your phone right now. Maybe let's do legs up the wall. Maybe let's like do some other stretch. Maybe we'll just sit down and just have no, I'm one of the, like I'm a supervisor at work, and so I have to be on constantly. So when I'm taking that break, it's like radio's off and I get to just like sit and be in quiet. So maybe it's just soaking up that quiet time. But that's another thing, like not letting the overwhelm get to us and be like, oh, I have so many things to do and I'm not gonna have time. If we tell ourselves we're not gonna have time, then we're not going to. It's like our mind is so powerful and what we tell ourselves really matters. So if you can see for yourself, like, yeah, it's gonna be a busy day, but I've got this. I know that I'm capable of taking care of myself, and I know I'm capable of finding these pockets of time where I can really nurture myself, um, and like put the phone down to, in order to make myself feel better, especially in the wake of seasonal depression and just the dark season in the northern hemisphere. And like that's all the empowerment that you need. So I hope that you guys take this with you into the, not just the last few days of the year, but also into the new year, and really like hone in on taking care of yourself and moving through the chaos with calmness, and clarity and compassion towards yourself and others. So thank you guys for being here. We'll probably do, I know I said I would schedule today, but it didn't happen like that. Again, I have a full schedule, but for the last 2 days, I definitely want to do one after Christmas, because I feel like after Christmas is super hectic still and there's like things to do. So I feel like I'm going to have things to say to you after Christmas. So I might go live on Christmas Eve, but if I'm not live on Christmas Eve, then I will go live probably the day after Christmas. And like definitely probably Sunday. So yeah, by Sunday I'll have gone live twice again. And that'll be the conclusion of Home and Harmony. And thank you guys for being here. I'll see you in the next one.